Oh boy, the race that nobody won has a winner, plus Alex Weaver one-on-one with Joey Logano, and Erica Davis is here to help us win some money.
NASCAR Daily with Shannon Speak.
I don't know about you, but this Thursday is starting off awesome for me today. Shannon Spake here, NASCAR Daily. It is October 24th. Happy Thursday, everybody. We have a packed show today. Erica Davis is going to be here. We're going to talk about how much money, hopefully, we won last week. Alex Weaver here as well. She has a special series that she's working on right now just in time for the Championship 4. So she's going to share all of that with us. Plus, we'll tell you about what I just said. Bobby Allison now moving up on that list of all-time winners. We'll get to that in a second. But first, so for many years, I had an opportunity to be a voter for the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award. It's such an incredible award that's given out every single year, 14 years. This is the 14th year that they've done it. And every single nominee, every single applicant, they do great things for children in their racing community. There's hundreds of applications that come in. You have to look through them. You get to hear all the stories. Now you have a chance to vote for the winner of the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award. Here's Jamie Little with a little bit more.
Each year, the NASCAR Foundation celebrates 4 passionate NASCAR fans who are true champions for children, serving as dedicated volunteers for children's causes important to them. These fans are celebrated as finalists for the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award. This year's 4 finalists are Tammy Rollerson, volunteer for the Periwinkle Foundation from College Station, Texas. Judy Simmons, volunteer for God's Pit Crew from Axton, Virginia. Carlos Washington, volunteer for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area from Florence, South Carolina. And Julie Wooldridge, co-founder of Hope of Mooresville from Mooresville, North Carolina. Your vote matters. Go to NASCARFoundation.org/award to vote today.
Again, such a great award that goes to a race fan, $100,000, as you heard Jamie just mention. You can go to NASCARFoundation.org/award from now until November 18th to vote. The 4 finalists, you can see them there, and give someone some money for the great things that they're doing for kids in their community. Someone that's doing great things all the time, one of the hardest working women in NASCAR is Alex Weaver. She's waking up early this morning on the West Coast to join us here today. You can find her at Al_Weave on social media. And Alex, you have a special series that you've been working on with the playoff drivers. Tell me about some of the interviews that you've been doing and most recently.
I do. Good morning, Shannon. Only for you would I wake up this early on the West Coast. Only for Shannon's fake.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Coming from you about the hardest working woman. No doubt that is Shannon over here. But yeah, I'm doing a special series with. It ended up kind of wanting to be playoff drivers, but obviously we're going to tap into some drivers that have some special things going on this season. I'm going to kind of preview it a little bit, a retirement. You can figure out which driver was not in the playoffs that we're going to be talking to. But one in particular that we started with that is releasing as our first installment of this series for our drivers is obviously coming off of the disaster and the devastation of Hurricane Milton and Helene, but specifically Helene in North Carolina, was Joey Logano tapped into his foundation and served the community up there in Western North Carolina. Asheville is near and dear to his heart. He and his wife, Brittany, got married there. So he wanted to make sure that he was helping these communities when they're facing the unthinkable. I mean, loss, devastation, there's such a long road to recovery. So we sat down with him actually at Charlotte Motor Speedway ahead of the Roval and chatted about what the Joey Logano Foundation was doing and how they're helping the folks up there in Western North Carolina.
Now, did you get an opportunity to drive through the area with him?
I didn't. He actually went up with just the folks from the Joey Logano Foundation, and they partnered with 2 local charities up there, one being a church and then one that they have had a partnership with that's just doing great things in hurricane disaster relief. So he got to drive the area. I saw the videos from Joey and saw all the behind the scenes photos and especially heard the stories, and they are unimaginable. I don't even know what you say to these people. And a lot of folks not only are losing their homes, their cars, all of their, worldly possessions, but lost family members, loved ones, wives, brothers, sisters. So Joey said that it was a lot worse than what he imagined. And I seen the video from a phone. I can't even imagine what it looked like in person.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos as well. And of course, they're doing a huge concert here in Charlotte this upcoming weekend, which is all going to go to benefit that. Can you tell us some of the other drivers that you're sitting down with, or is this a secret?
I am going to go ahead and preview it because I am just so excited to do these, and we have them all planned out. The only one that we have left to do is this upcoming weekend. We're going to sit down with Martin Truex Jr. at Homestead Miami Speedway. So I'm excited to talk to him because obviously he's retiring. We know that we'll get a little preview of him and a little bit of Martin Truex Jr. in a race car in the coming seasons, but obviously his final full-time season. So we're going to sit down and talk through his career highlights and what, he's hoping to take away from the sport, and also the impact and the legacy that he's had. But a really special one for me, and I'm, on the road every weekend. So I know these families, I know these personalities and these figures that are our NASCAR Cup Series drivers. So we sat down with Tyler Reddick and actually got to do a little trick-or-treating with his wife, Alexa, and his son, Bo, who was just the absolute cutest. They had on costumes. They dressed up. Bo Reddick was Willy Wonka from Charlotte and the Chocolate Factory and was handing out Wonka bars and golden tickets, and it was just the sweetest thing ever. So we got to talk to Tyler while in the midst of all the Halloween trick-or-treating chaos.
Well, thank you for getting up early with us, and have a safe trip to Miami.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, time to say hello to our girl, Erica Davis. Erica Renee D is where you can find her on social media, fresh off her trip to the East Coast. Had a good weekend if you followed her on social media, Instagram. But did we have a good week, Erica, with the betting?
Well, we had a good week because we are alive and we are healthy and we are here. But from a betting perspective, no. Our bet last week.
That is glass half full, if I've ever heard.
Our bet last week did not win.
I'm excited to hear how that goes. All right, we start all these segments with a word of the day. The word of the day is not healthy and happy. What is the word of the week?
The word or the phrase of the week is chase your losses. Chase your losses is when you are either on a losing streak in sports betting, or maybe you just had a big loss recently and you're trying to find a quick, easy way to recoup your losses. And that could be by betting more units than you would typically bet. It could mean that you're trying to leverage money off of a credit card, take money out of your savings. You might even try to bet on a sport that you typically wouldn't bet on. And Shannon, interestingly enough, I joked about this yesterday in our production meeting because we lost last week and we lost the week before. So I was saying, I don't want to chase our losses, but this is something I take very seriously because chasing your losses never ends up well. It's a very dangerous game to play because sports books, they have your numbers. So I'm a staunch advocate of bringing awareness to not chasing your losses.
So are we chasing our losses this week?
We're not going to chase our loss because we're not going to bet an insane amount of money on whatever we choose to back, whatever spot we choose to back. We're not going to go crazy with it.
All right. How bad was last week?
It wasn't too bad, Shannon, because we are responsible bettors here at NASCAR Daily. We only bet $40 in honor of the Hendrick Motorsports 40th anniversary. So we're down to $804.60. But guys, we started off with $1,000 imaginary money. And you know how we feel, Shannon, having lost a couple $100. Imagine how people who are really losing money feel.
All right.
This is why you don't chase your losses. You don't chase your losses.
Why, so we don't use our credit cards to pay for our losses.
No.
Okay, so what's our head-to-head this week? How are we going to
head-to-head this week? There is a head-to-head between Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott, where Denny Hamlin's minus 125, Chase Elliott's minus 105. We've had some interesting debate about who we should take, but I want to hear what you have to say. Which driver would you back in this spot to finish ahead of the other?
I'm going to go Chase Elliott. I don't feel great about Denny Hamlin right now. If we're going to go head-to-head, who's going to finish better? And I think Hendrick Motorsports has had a lot of success at Homestead, and maybe there's some ghosts at Homestead for Denny for losing the championship so many years there. So that's kind of my thought process.
I think that's so fair. But Shannon, when I was looking back at the last 3 races at Miami, Denny Hamlin has actually finished better than Chase in 2 of those. And then the last few races, I know, but I am going to side with you and back Denny Hamlin. I mean, sorry. That's not what you said. I'm going to back Chase Elliott. I'm going to back Chase Elliott because I would think that Denny Hamlin is looking ahead to Martinsville thinking, okay, you know what? I know I need to have a great run, but I can save all my firepower for next week at Martinsville where I got this. So Chase Elliott it is.
All right, how much are we wagering?
Because we are responsible bettors here at NASCAR Daily with Shannon Spake, we're only going to bet $20.
Okay.
And that's only going to win us a total of $39.05, which will, if we win, put us back up to $823.
All right.
So
Rome wasn't built in a day, so it's slowly. And then we can have a big old party at Phoenix because we're going to win back our money. We're going to have a grand. You get 500, I get 500, and it's Happy New Year.
Slow and steady wins the race, Shannon Spake.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks for getting up early with us, Erica.
See you guys.
Some big news coming down yesterday from NASCAR. So back in 1971 at Bowman Gray, it's called the race that nobody won, I should say, the race that nobody won. And yesterday, NASCAR officially announced that Bobby Allison, Hall of Famer, is the official winner of that race. So we had Jim France, NASCAR chairman and CEO, said this. He said, for 53 years, this race was the only race run by NASCAR that did not have an official winner. As we began preparations for the upcoming clash at Bowman Gray Stadium, the topic of that 1971 race was returned to the forefront. We felt it was the right thing to officially recognize Bobby's win and honor him as an 85-time winner. That means he now jumps up the all-time win list to 85, just ahead of Darrell Waltrip. There's a great little feature. It's about 11 minutes, 12 minutes on YouTube. It's called The NASCAR Race That Was Won 53 Years Later. And I watched it last night. It was really good. Explains the whole thing and how there was no winner for that race. So check it out. Before we go, we do want to recognize this day. So 20 years ago on October 24th, we lost the folks from Hendrick Motorsports in the plane crash. I know that this is a really painful day for so many people out there in the racing community and beyond. So as we say goodbye today, we just want to let you know that you are definitely in our thoughts and prayers and, of course, always in our hearts.